Hello, philosophy class. Mr. Cleary here. We are heading into a new unit of study. We are finished with our study of reality. And thank you very much for the work that has been submitted for that creative task. Very impressed with the quality of the work I'm receiving. I'll have some marks out for that work shortly. Now we are moving on to greener pastures though, and we will be considering, from a philosophical point of view, mind, body, and consciousness. So I might make that a little bit bigger. That's our new unit of study. So it's worthy of size 26 font, I'm sure you'll agree. So today's learning intention, gain an understanding of the mind-body problem, mind/body problem, and your success criteria. I know what the mind/body problem is. I can articulate my current belief on the soul, in inverted commas. I can consider thoughtfully the origin of my beliefs about the soul. Okay, so I'll give you this document. So there's a little bit of reading. Then there are 7 questions which you should be able to answer based on what you've read and also based on what you currently believe. And the last question here is just defining some of the key terms from the reading. So I'll make that column a little bit skinnier so you've got a bit more room for your definitions. Your definitions may come straight from Google or from dictionary.com. No hassles there. Just make sure you give it a read first, okay? I'll go through this for you. Mind, body, and consciousness. The mind-body problem. For centuries, philosophers have considered the nature of the human mind and its relationship with our bodies. There are some who believe that the mind is completely separate from the body, that it is made of a completely different substance. Others believe that there is only one substance, that mind and body are made of the same stuff. Still, others have tried to find a compromise between these opposing positions. So this is the mind-body problem. The fact that no one really knows what the mind is, where the mind is, what it's made of, whether it's made of different things, something different than our body, or whether it just is a part of our body, a function of our body. No one can really say for sure, which makes it really good food for thought, especially in a philosophy class. Let me continue. The central question in the field is whether the mind is material or immaterial. Are we merely physical beings, or is there something non-physical which makes up us? Do we have immaterial souls that animate our bodies, or are we merely electrical activity in an organic brain? Substance dualism. This is the belief that the body and the mind are made of 2 different substances. When we talk of the body and the mind, we are talking of 2 different types of things. It is called dualism because it is the belief that humans are made of 2 separate components, a physical, material body and a non-physical, immaterial mind. Problems for the dualist. One problem the dualists face is explaining how the mind and body interact or interrelate. It appears both that mental events cause physical events and that physical events cause mental events. Alternative views. One opposing view to the dualist is substance monism, which makes no distinction between the mental and physical, believing instead that everything which exists is made of the same substance. Either everything in the universe is mental, idealism, or everything in the universe is physical, materialism, also sometimes referred to as physicalism. How does this relate to personhood? A dualist can argue that a person is actually 2 things, a body and a mind, or soul. But for a materialist, a person is only a body. The materialist may argue that the mind is a phenomenon of the body, the effect of electrical activity in our physical brain. Now I'll go through that one a little bit slower for you. There's a little bit to digest in all of this. So, a dualist, in terms of this mind-body consciousness, mind-body problem. So the dualist thinks that there's 2 parts to a human. There's the physical part, your body, and then there's something else, your mind/your soul. The materialist, on the other hand, believes that the body is it, okay? The mind, your soul, whatever that is, it's just a function of your body, okay? It's just your brain going sick, buzzing little electrical signals everywhere, and out of that somehow is your consciousness. It's all explained inside that physical entity. So those are basically 2 ends of this argument. And there's lots of arguments that fit in between. but they're the ones we sort of want to have our heads around for the moment. Okay, so your job today in addressing these success criterions are: number one, what is the mind-body problem? Now, please describe this in your own words. Don't copy and paste this paragraph down there. That is just a waste of your time and mine. Try and put it into your own words. Okay, describe the following in your own words. What is the mind/body problem? Question 2, do you think the mind and body are made of the same stuff or different stuff? Now, there's no right or wrong answer to that. I really want you to have a think about that, and maybe have a think about where that thinking's taking place. Do you think that your thinking and your feeling is purely a physical event happening inside a physical body? Or do you think that something else is going on? So, do you think the mind and body are made of the same stuff or different stuff? Question 3, where do you think your mind is? Okay, so everyone, whether you're a dualist or a materialist, they both agree that the mind is a thing, but where it is, that's another thing that is often up for debate. There are some cultures, I know in our Western culture, we always think of our thinking as happening inside of our brain, but there are some cultures around the world where they feel their consciousness in other parts of their body. And it's not that hard to relate to. We can talk about things like having a gut feeling, or sometimes you'll feel things and it's not necessarily a function of your brain, but you feel it in your body somewhere. So not like feeling hungry, but like feeling in love or heartbroken or something like that. We talk about those things affecting our heart because that sort of seems to be where it happens. So give that some thought. Where do you think your mind is? Question 4. Do you think your mind controls most of what you do or your body? So who's driving, I guess, is this question. Is what you think a process of your body, or is what your body does a process of your mind, or maybe a combination? Maybe you can try and work out who's got the biggest role in controlling what you do. Question 5. What are humans talking about when they describe the soul? Okay. Now this, I don't want you to Google it. I want you to Google your brain. Tell me, what are humans talking about when they describe the soul? Question 6. Do you believe in the existence of the soul? Why or why not? Okay, just right now, if someone asked you, and I am asking you, do you believe in the existence of the soul? Why or why not? I need an answer here. Question 7. Where do you think your belief about the soul, as articulated in questions 5 and 6, came from? So in 5 and 6, I want you to think about whether you believe in the soul and what your ideas of what the soul is are. And then in question 7, I want you to think about where those thoughts and feelings come from. So where they originate. And last but not least, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 words here, which I want you to look up definitions for. Okay, so you can Google them, copy and paste them in, that's fine. Now, some of these you might know. If you've got a good definition in your head for the word separate, and you probably will, just type your definition in, that'll be fine. Now, after you have defined these words, I want you to reread the material above or re-listen to me saying it, okay? Because once you've got those words in your head, you'll see that document in a slightly different way. So lastly, define the following terms. Once you're done, reread or re-listen to the information on page 1 of this document. Okay, now I would anticipate that this is enough work for 2 periods. Now, if after 2 periods of time you're not done, that's fine. As long as you've done as much as you can, that is absolutely fine. I do not want anyone to stay up all night thinking that this has to be done by next lesson or anything like that. We've got plenty of time to sink our teeth into this material. So spend your double on this and just get as much of it done as you possibly can. If you do finish it, feel free to send it to me in a personal IM through Edmodo. And I'm really looking forward to tackling our new area of study with you on mind, body, and consciousness. It should relate nicely to what we've done on reality and what we've done in ethics. And, it's always good to study stuff that affects us. We studied reality. We're all apparently in reality, so it was good to think about it. And in terms of the mind, body, consciousness, this is not some foreign stuff. This is you. You uh, have a mind, have a body, and have a consciousness, and they're always working away. We rarely stop to think about what's actually going on. So we've got that opportunity. So I'm really looking forward to some of the stuff you come up with. Thank you for your time, philosophy class. I'm online if you need to send me a question, please do.